Hey, Mike with Nerd Problems Gaming here. In today's video, we're doing an unboxing and review of the Hoplomachus Victorum and Hoplomachus series, Pandora's Might and Pandora's Ruin expansions. So let's get into it. Alright, so we've got a few of the Hoplomachus Victorum expansions out right now. So I wanted to dive into these and unbox these, but then also jump into my review of them as well. So first, let's start with the mini expansion here, the Forge of the Lion expansion. And so this expansion is a little small, but it does give you a little add-on to the game. So a couple of different opportunity quests for Forge of the Lion, and it also gives you a couple different chips as well. So one is more of a fishback bane creature addition to the game, and then it also has basically a new tactic that can upgrade one of your creatures. Then we've also got this new smith chip, so basically another new creature character that you can add to your roster throughout the game. So again, pretty small expansion, but another little cool one to add on. The next one I'll showcase here is the Hoplomachus series Pandora's Might expansion. And so this one is actually kind of a hybrid expansion between the Hoplomachus Victorum and the Hoplomachus Remastered. So basically the remastered game introduced a bunch of new characters, also made it multiplayer instead of a solo adventure. And what this expansion really does is kind of bridge that gap between the two games, so you can actually play as a bunch of the new heroes or primuses that you might face off against in the original Hoplomachus Victorum game. So again, kind of adds those new characters and storylines to that base adventure, so you can have some new additions in that solo mode. So it looks like it's got some different tactics that you'll add to your characters. Again, specific to these new heroes. Got some new primuses and heroes here as well, in addition to their specific tactics. So that's cool, just more additions here. Looks like some new character additions too, which is cool. Some of them are, looks like neutral, but then others are for specific regions. Again, some of these are new enemy types as well, which seem to come about based on the characters you might be playing as. Looks like we've got the Pandora Primus here as well. So again, these can be either heroes if you're playing as them, or they can be enemies that you'll face throughout the campaign of Hoplomachus Victorum. Looks like we've got some other, looks like maybe hero prowesses. Yep, like I thought, different hero prowesses for the various new heroes or primuses that you might be going against or playing as in the base game. And again, these are just kind of base abilities that you can acquire specific to your hero throughout the campaign. And again, a lot of these I've found are pretty thematic as well, really fitting to your character type, which is really cool. So again, I'll kind of go through these fast so you can see all of them that come a part of it. Nice. So we've got even more for the other primuses / heroes here. Again, some of these you can see have different levels listed on it, and so kind of how those work. Those are different abilities. You need to start with the level 1, but then throughout your campaign you do have that option potentially to upgrade those when you're picking new hero prowesses. Again, just rounding out the rest of the characters with their specialty hero prowess abilities. So again, not a huge expansion here, but again, really adds a lot of replay value to the game, because again, you can add all these new different starting heroes throughout your campaign, which again is really cool. Nice. So again, more of a smaller expansion here, but even though it's not a ton,
can definitely add a significant amount of replay value to the original Hoplomachus Victorum game. So I'm excited to definitely check these out as well. So with that unboxed, let's move on to the Pandora's Ruin expansion. So again, this is a little bit more of a beefy expansion. What's kind of cool about this is not only can you add this onto your Hoplomachus Victorum, basically what it does, it adds a bunch of new scions, so the different kind of boss enemies here, but also adds scion specific events, multiple options for the arenas that you'll be fighting in, and it also adds kind of a shorter campaign option, this Mercury's Boots option, which is really cool and really allows you to play a faster campaign. So it lets you speed through it. Normally it takes quite a long time to go through the full campaign, but it's kind of a condensed version. So if you're looking for more of a shorter, expedited adventure, that's kind of an option here as well. So again, more scions. We've got the Chaos Dragon here, which is really cool. We've got Set. Looks like more of a Egyptian-based enemy of Egyptian mythology. Again, there's kind of new mythologies expanded in this Pandora's Ruin expansion, which is cool. More mythological beasts and enemies here, which is really cool. And another addition to this expansion is it kind of gives you an A and a B side for the different locations. So you can replace the original arenas from the base game and kind of give you two options. So it'll switch up the variety a bit. So giving you more challenges and threats for each base arena. Just again, switching things up and keeping them fresh, keeping you on your toes. So you'll need to adjust your strategy depending on the different arenas that you're going throughout the game. And so again, this can just be a replacement for those arenas where one side is kind of the original arena, how it started off, but then the other side is this new alternate version for this specific expansion. So I really like that it not only adds new characters, new gameplay styles, but also new arenas. Let's dive into the chips, see some of those. So it looks like we've got some new arena chips. So these are probably tapping into the new arena formats, giving you some more tactics, it looks like, which is really cool. And tactics are kind of more or less one-off abilities. All right, so we got a bunch of new opportunity chips. This again looks like different creatures, more tactics, just a bunch of new units you could potentially add into your roster, or again, that could fight in the enemy rosters here, which is really cool. Just adding even more strategies that you'll need to contend with, which is really awesome. Hercules, nice. Again, Minotaur enemies, Draconic Aura. Oops, that's funny. Yeah. So just a lot more additions here. Oh, nice, cool. You got Cerberus. So it looks like some more Banes, which are kind of bad enemy hindrances or potentially debuffs for your heroes and team. Sometimes they go in the bag for things that you draw. Ooh, we've got some additional Scion monsters, centaurs here. Looks like some of these might be arena focused, bigger monsters, potentially even Scion monsters here, which is cool. Looks like another stack of Scion monsters. Alright, some even bigger Scion enemies here, like crocodiles, hippos. This dude's body, like almost like a cheetah giraffe. Weird looking monster. Some soldiers, Pharaoh. Again, some of these guys will kind of work in conjunction with each other, I believe. And then these are the major scions. Some of these could be like little enemies the overall Scions summon. Again, check out what's in here. Little Pandora boxes here. Looks like we got some more special prowess cards. Again, these are more generic powers for your characters that you can get and acquire throughout your campaign, giving you new abilities that pretty much anyone can learn versus just a specific hero. Got another creepy box here. I think that's just for storing stuff. Another cool box here. So again, throughout the base Hoplomachus Victorum game, there's different sporting events like Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, kind of mock sparring battles as well. And one thing that's pretty cool with this new expansion is that they added in a bunch of new events, but specific to the specific scions that you might be facing throughout your campaign. So again, why this is cool is it kind of adds some of these additional opportunity cards, various events, but specific to the scion you're facing. So it just feels even more thematic based on the ultimate enemy that you're going against. So challenges related to that, specific sporting events, bloodshed events, and more. So just another cool way to expand upon the base game. Looks like these are probably the bloodshed events here. Primus cards. So again, the bloodshed events are combat events, but if your hero or companions die throughout that event, it's kind of like they're permanently dead, where a sporting event is more friendly, and if your units die, they're just kind of out of the running for that battle, versus being added back to the enemy bag. Another thing cool here is there's Primus cards here. Typically in the original game, there was just general things that Primuses took on for each act and how that event shaped up, but now it looks like there's plenty more to throw in the mix to choose from as well, which is really cool. I'm actually going to take these out because it looks like there's maybe something else underneath, but showcase this real quick. So this portion here is actually kind of your hero campaign tracking card, and so things are a little bit different in this Pandora's Ruin option, that expedited mode. And so you still go through the acts, but they're a little bit shorter. And then again, you'll be able to use the blessings this time to upgrade your dice and hero abilities. But again, you have a limited number of those, so you'll need to choose accordingly. So it's a little bit different of a gameplay structure, but still really fun. All right, it's a little bit hard to get out, but this looks like a little cheat sheet guide for the Mercury's Boots gameplay option, which again, like I said, is more of a streamlined adventure. So again, just talks you through how that works, and just another cool piece of artwork here. All right, well, that wraps up the unboxing side of things. So with that said, let's jump into the review.
Well, now that you've seen what's all inside, how do I feel about these expansions? Well, I've played through these quite extensively, and I've really enjoyed both of them. I think the Hoplomachus Victorum is quite a robust expansion. It's really cool. It adds a bunch of new content to the base game. It adds a lot of different scions, which are kind of the end bosses for the game. It also adds unique events based on the scions that you face throughout the game, which gives it even more of a thematic feel to the game as you're playing versus different scions. They all kind of have their own twists and spin on things. And so I really like that aspect. Another really cool element is that it gives you a bunch of new arenas to face off in the game. So you'll have the same areas that you'll fight in, but there's now an A and a B version for each arena. And so this really keeps things fresh and adds just a whole nother layer of challenge to the game and more replay value as well. Again, this adds a whole nother level of strategy to the game, as each run through will be totally different depending on which sides you might encounter, the enemies you'll face off against, and much more. It also adds a shorter campaign version called the Mercury Boots version of the game. And so it's kind of like an expedited campaign where you'll start off and have so many blessings that you can use through the run, and you'll be able to actually use these at the start of the game to give your characters an initial boost. So it might be upgrading their attack die, adding more HP, improving their movement, different things like that. And so it kind of speeds up the game, but I also feel like it adds to the difficulty level and kind of ramps that up a little bit more exponentially. Again, it's a shorter campaign. You do have those starting boosts, but then again, you have fewer weeks to really prepare and build up your character for the ultimate Scion battle at the end of the game. And so I don't necessarily feel like it's for beginners. I think it's kind of more of an advanced version of the game almost, and a way to play it a little bit quicker. I think it also adds a lot of replayability in the sense that there's all kinds of different builds you might give your characters at the start of the game. And so that's just a whole nother level of strategy as well. And I really like that aspect. Now, when it comes to the Pandora's Might expansion, this really expands upon Hoplomachus Victorum, but you do actually need to have Hoplomachus remastered in order to fully utilize this expansion. It basically gives you a bunch of hero prowesses for the characters that are in Hoplomachus Remastered, and so you can then utilize those characters throughout a campaign in Hoplomachus Victorum. And so I like that element. I think that adds a ton of replay value to the game as well. Just a bunch of new heroes and primuses that you can take on throughout each run. Plus, if you want to try it with this additional expansion of that quicker runs, it just adds a whole nother level of gameplay to the game. Now, these are definitely not standalone expansions. You certainly need to have the Hoplomachus Victorum game. And then again, if you're utilizing this one, you pretty much need to have the Hoplomachus Remastered, as it kind of bridges the gap between the two games. But I had a lot of fun with both of them, and I think if you pick these up in conjunction with those two expansions, it's really going to add a significant amount of playtime to the game and give you so many more options and ways to play the game. It was also cool to see the different types of Scions entering the battle now. There's a massive dragon, for example, that's maybe not necessarily mythological in kind of the Greek mythology sense, which most of the theme is based on, but it does add these new Scion battles of kind of various other mythological creatures, and so that's really cool as well. And the fact that it has these customized events based on the existing Scions and the new Scions, I think that's really cool as well. But overall, I think these are a great addition if you're a fan of the base games of Hoplomachus Victorum and Hoplomachus Remastered. It adds a ton of replay value to the games and will keep you having fun for hours. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now that you've seen these expansions, are you going to pick them up? Have you played these before? Have you played either of the base games of Hoplomachus, either Hoplomachus Victorum or Hoplomachus Remastered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you did want to pick up either of these expansions, I'll have some links in the description below where you can do so. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. And another really cool way you can help support the channel is we actually partnered with a company, Geek Crate, that puts together various bundles. So whether you like things like Harry Potter, Pokemon, Naruto, Marvel, and more, they've got different bundles for everything. They have a subscription service you can take advantage of, or buy just one-time bundle packs of various items. And so if you did want to check that out and help support the channel, head to nerdproblemsgaming.com/Geek Crate, and you'll actually get 15% off your order and help support our channel at the same time. So if you want to take advantage of that cool discount, be sure to head there as well. And if you like videos like this on video games, board games, and everything nerdy, check out one of our other videos here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new nerd videos we put out. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.